All right, good morning, investors. We've had some amazing trades this week. To highlight GNUS in particular, that is GNUS, spiked over 400% since the first alert that the Insider's Guide has sent out. So, congratulations to the students that have been making some killer profits off of our alerts this week. We have some really big trades through the rest of the week, as well as a few bangers to watch today. So there are a lot of second wave strategies going on today. What that means is that the price per share spiked early in the morning and has kind of been on a steady decline like we're looking at right now. So what we're watching for is going to be that second wave, that next little push to the upside, because we know that there's energy in the market from this pre-market hours trading where it spiked so much. We're looking at West Water Resources right now. These guys spiked nearly 200% this morning from $2 a share all the way up to $5.70 before falling back down towards exactly $3 a share and testing the support level here. So this is one of the stocks that we're going to be looking at. Fairly basic. We're on a 1 day, 1 minute time frame. If we zoom out, we can take a look at some other time frames. So right here we have a 30-day, 10-minute time frame and a 180-day 4-hour. So immediately you can see that WWR is fairly overextended. It is pushed very, very high above its 6-month highs. The support level going to be around $3.57. Noticing that it's fallen all the way below that, back to retest this level of around $3 a share. We're seeing that there is a little bit of support resistance kind of around $3, that being the strong unconscious key level, as well as down to $2.70. So again, kind of expecting a bit more downside movement before we see any actual real push to the upside. If we zoom back in on this 1 day, 1 minute, I absolutely think there's potential to go back towards $4 a share by this afternoon. These guys are a great company. They had some positive news come out about some of their battery processing plants. So always good to have some positive media associated with some movement in the stock. So what I'll be watching for is immediately a break above 321. Now that's about 8% above the current level. If it does break to the downside, there's no rush to jump into this trade. I want to see a solid break above resistance and continuation to the upside before we take any trades on these guys. Next one is going to be MGI, MoneyGram. These guys have a potential buyout opportunity from Western Union Bank. And notice that they spiked all the way up to $4.50 this morning, pre-market shares. This was after hours yesterday, before continuing up to $4.20 pre-market today. So what I'm watching for is going to be a break above this VWAP, which will show you that, hey, look, there is more energy moving to the upside. Notice that the MACD is bullish, RSI is in healthy market conditions. What we're seeing right here is a bit of a cup and handle strategy, where you have this cup symbolized by this kind of steady decline, steady incline, and the handle being formed right here, bouncing really, really nicely off of resistance or off of support at around $3.50 a share. I'm looking for a move back towards the recent highs of around 390. It's going to be the high threes, possibly low fours. On continuation, we could absolutely see a move above $4 a share, back up towards around 417. So that's what I'm looking for this afternoon. Again, some very positive news with them. Absolutely don't see any reason why these guys couldn't push higher. Next one is GNUS, and these guys have been absolutely supernova this week, jumping from all the way up from $1.44 all the way up to nearly 366. It's a 150% gain. If you zoom out even more, it's even crazier. From 35 cents a share back in April, all the way up to 360. That's a 950% gain. The Insider's Guide set the alerts out right about here once we saw that it had broken above this recent resistance level and was continuing in an ICI strategy to the upside. ICI is an impulse correction, and an impulse after you see support building very strongly. We noticed that it held around 130. We saw this break, retest above this ascending bull flag, and continuation to the upside in this next leg. Now we closed the trade out fairly early, right around the high twos. Very, very happy with our 60% profit on this trade. However, if you're still holding, Congratulations to the students in on that. Absolutely more buying opportunities once it dropped back down towards around $2 a share and up on this new wave. So what I'm watching for here is another potential push to the upside. This is the 1 day, 1 minute time frame. I want to see a break above this recent resistance at 346. Once we see that, we could have a head and shoulders formation to the upside to retest the recent highs of around 370. And there's really no telling how high this could go. I believe the price targets are set between $4 and $5 a share. So we're aiming around that direction. But for one, I'm looking for a short-term trade up towards 360. So I'm going to create an alert right at 347. As soon as this is triggered, I'll be looking for the next trade. Huge second wave strategy going on right here. If we zoom out and look at the other time frames, we'll notice that these guys have actually fallen a fair bit, and this is actually a retracement leg that we're seeing down here. And this is one of my favorite patterns to trade because normally the stock was trading around $6 a share. You see this very, very high volatility. It moves from 4 all the way up to nearly 9, and then from 230 all the way up to 6. That's some great volatility, and that's absolutely what we look for in these soft swing trades that we run at the Insider's Guide. So what I'm noticing is that they've broken this counter trend line. If we're following this, very, very easy to see. The trend was, let me see if I can pull up drawing tools. Gotta let me draw on the chart. Alright, you'll notice we have this trend line going to the downside. Obviously it is a bearish trend, very, very healthy ICI to the downside before finding a support at around $2 a share. Now it's broken that to the upside with a very, very healthy looking break and retest. We have an ICI currently running to the upside. What I'm interested in is to see if these guys can break above the recent resistance levels now that we know where our price target is at around $6 a share long term. Probably short term going to be around $4 a share, indicating some solid upside movement out of these guys in the next day or so. What I'm watching for is going to be a significant break above $2.80 a share, that being the recent resistance level right here. Super simple to see, guys. If you're not really seeing what we're looking at, then please go take a look at the Insider's Guide course, and it will teach you guys exactly what you need to know to be able to find these stocks. Currently, if it sits and starts making a push to the downside, it could easily just be an ICI. Moving down towards the next support level around 240. So with that said, I'm going to be watching for a strong break above 280. Looks like it's pushing to the upside right now before continuation back up towards the mid threes. And then, like we said before, price target of around $6 a share. So we have that set. Next one is Mara. I was watching these guys earlier this morning. We had kind of a similar situation. I was watching until about here. What we saw was this counter trend line, beautiful break retest. However, price continued to kind of push lower. This turned into a fake breakout with the stock price not being able to move above that dollar a share. And I think not able to move around 96. I think that was because of the $1 a share strong level that it had retested earlier this morning. Breaking $1 a share is really difficult for a lot of penny stocks, and so I think one of the reasons that we saw this push to the downside instead of continuation up is because people saw, okay, $1 a share, there's strong resistance there. That means that there's not much room to the upside from its current level at around 92, so this breakup wouldn't really be worth it. Like my legs, never mind. Age, if we zoom out, let's take a look on the other time frames, see what's going on. Okay, so these guys have a history of spiking, nearly 50 cents or 70 cents all the way up to $2 a share. Big spikes. Coming from the $2 plus range, noticing the key levels kind of sitting at around $1.30-ish. Notices resistance, turn support back here. Okay, so $1.30 is going to be our strong resistance level, and we're absolutely seeing that. If we just look on the smaller time frame, in the last month, we'll notice that it has tried to break 30 a few times and it hasn't been able to. So again, not really too promising here, not exactly what I'd be looking for. However, I'm interested simply because of this spike all the way up to $1.44 this morning, showing that it did break above that $1.30 level, meaning that there is energy in the market. Noticing that support is being built around $1.10. I would be possibly interested in a trade from $1.20. Again, this would be fairly risky day trade, not super high on my list at the moment. We'll go check out that alert that just came through on Vizel. Great addition to the Thinkorswim trading platform is that every alert that you set gets sent directly to your email or phone number, whatever you prefer, and so you can keep up to date on all the stocks that are moving. Next one, we're going to jump to SDC, Smile Direct Club. They had some really positive news. I believe they're expanding into Asia, which is a huge market. They spiked this morning. I think it was only 2 to 3%, coming down to around $8 a share. If they hold support here, I would be interested in longs or a possible swing trade. Notice that they were trading at around the $13 a share level just a few months ago. Yeah, all the way around $13 to $15 a share. So absolutely some room to the upside. Current short-term room up towards kind of $10 a share. That's the recent highs here. I want to see strong close above this kind of 850 strong zone. Once we see that, notice how quickly this got rejected. Possible ICI to the upside. Sorry if I'm speaking gibberish to you guys. Go learn from the Insider's Guide course. We'll teach you everything that you need to know so you can understand all of this investor lingo, I guess. So what we're watching for is going to be a break above recent resistance, 858. I have an alert set there. Let's go in on a lower time frame. Let's see, 840. Yeah, so it is kind of moving to the upside. You could possibly take a trade from here. I'm still concerned that this could be an ICI to the downside. So I want to see a break above this actual recent resistance first, as well as if it broke above this, it would be above the VWAP, and MACD will have probably crossed into bullish territory by then. Next one is Arlo. These guys are just beautiful chart coming from nearly $2 a share all the way up to $2.45 now. It's a solid 20% gain. Nothing to be ashamed about. There is strong resistance at 250, key level pretty much at exactly 250. Notice support turning resistance here. So I want to see a break above 250 to indicate further upside potential. We're watching for a run up towards the 280s, that being the recent high over here. And if we zoom out, we're on a 30-day, 10-minute right now. Okay, cool. So around 280 is going to be the price target. We zoom in on the 1-day, 1-minute, so we can really get a feel. Possible head and shoulders pattern forming. That is a bearish signal. However, it didn't create a full equal low here, so I'm not too concerned. I want to see a break above this recent resistance. Again, that 250 level is going to be the key. So that's going to be it. Quick other one that we were watching, Carnival Cruise Line. These guys started the day really well, but they are falling a little bit as the day moves on, all the way down to 1650. I believe as the economy reopens and as the travel industry, I believe as the airline and travel industry reopens, then we definitely have some potential to see more room for growth out of these guys. If we look on a wider chart, you'll notice that there's possible movement back up towards the 40s where they were trading at before the COVID pandemic, and now it's currently sitting at right around 16. So some great discount gains if you guys can get on them. It's kind of like the airline industry. If you guys took a look at American Airlines, very similar, beautiful break and retest. Absolutely looking for more upside potential as a COVID cure comes nearer. Some really big companies are working on cures. I'll save that for another lesson, but just wanted to show you guys the similarities between all the charts on airline stocks right now. This is United. The last one was American Airlines. If we look at Southwest, you notice that it's all pretty much the same, all breaking above this counter trend line, moving on their way back towards the recent highs. Now I want to see a break above this recent resistance. Most of them are all hitting the same spot. Delta, pretty, I think all of these charts look exactly the same. Last one is going to be Boeing. Out of all of these, I think Boeing has the greatest upside potential. Possible run from 150 all the way back up to nearly 350 a share. That's huge potential gains. They're an airline company. They're not going away. As long as airlines are running, Boeing will be at the forefront of selling airplanes to airlines. So absolutely going to stick around. Definitely a long-term buy. Quick little airline watch list at the end of this. But hope you guys are ready for some solid trades this week, and we'll see you in the next lesson.